He knew exactly what he was doing by standing right next to him. He knew Meech was not thinking clearly, and if he did not throw you those 3-wing stops, you would have knocked them out. What is 50 going to do? He is going to destroy everything. He will release that last season, then drop the Tammy and make everyone doubt everything people thought OT did. As for me, I have my new BMF piece and my old one. I do not have any more. They charged me $200,000 just for the CU. This Cuban chain costs about $1,100 grand, and it is chunky and really big. I really cannot wear it for more than 3 or 4 hours because my neck starts to hurt. The lock has Elon on it, which is his name, his signature. You can see the 3 big diamonds on each side, so it is not a regular Cuban chain. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or maybe 100, but this one costs 200 just for the kilo. The pendant alone costs 300. This one, I might give to my dad when he comes home, or I might keep it forever. You cannot get anything bigger than this. You do not see silver or gold. You just see pure diamonds. I am sitting there looking at it thinking, if I wanted to, I could make a lot of money. Or maybe he spent all the money because he made a few million with 5. I go out and spend 1,500,000 every night, 2 or 3 nights in a row. It can really ruin your life. It can mess up your friendships, your relationship with your partner, and you might even lose your job. No one can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, who is his son's boss and also a known rival, was not done on purpose. That was a very clear decision. So why would a parent make a choice like that? Maybe they have some past pain or feelings of jealousy. Sometimes, when a parent has not healed, the reasons they should be proud of you end up being the reasons they feel threatened by you. It seems like there is a little bit of jealousy there. He should have come home and made it about spending time with family. He should have focused on passing down what he built to his son. His son is on TV now, making money, looking good, and starting his own career. But instead, he is always on his phone, posting on Instagram, and trying to set up a car show with Rick Ross. Things will never be like they were in 2008. But because he has not healed from his past, he is trying to relive his younger years. The problem is, he is not really seeing his son's success for what it is, his son's own hard work and achievements. It feels like he sees it as a competition now, like he is trying to show his son, "Oh, you think you can do better than me?" Now that Big Meech is home, he wants to prove something. He wants to show how to make money and how to do things. He even went to work with someone who is the rival of his son's boss. Do you think Big Meech ever thought about how working with Rick Ross would affect his son? No, all he cares about is getting some attention, some temporary fame. Let us be honest, his relationship with Rick Ross is not real, it is not genuine. If someone is only with you to get something, then it is not a true connection. If someone is just trying to hurt another person, that is not a real connection. Now, Big Meech's money problems are all over the news, and Tony O is not holding back in a wild new interview. He spilled all the details about why 50 Cent turned his back on Big Meech, and trust me, it is all about money. It turns out Meech spent all of his BMF money, and his son did the same thing. Tony said, "When we went to your house and me and Murder were sitting in the backyard, you told me your son did not give you anything. He drove up in a Ferrari truck with his pockets full of cash. And here you are, complaining." I thought to myself, this guy is tripping. Your son does not owe you anything. He is not required to give you money. Bread, or maybe he spent all the bread cause he made a couple of mil with 5. My whole thing is maybe the relationship will be good is if you saved some money for your pops when he came home, but I understand how it is to be a young black man with money and you don't make the right decisions. Apparently that's the reason Boozy agreed to do a freebie for him welcome back home concert for Meech before it got cancelled. I'm assuming that you were doing it for free, yeah, and I'm assuming everyone else was doing it for free? That is awesome. I understand, but at the same time, you are charging someone who just came home from jail. If Meech thought that Lil Meech would help him out with money, he is about to be really disappointed. It turns out, Junior is just like his father when it comes to spending money. According to Yayo, Lil Meech spent an unbelievable $100,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans. He owns about 10 pairs. It is clear that he does not know how to manage his money. because if he did, he would have been helping his father instead of showing off all that expensive designer clothing. Being young and having money is crazy because we were young with money before, so I understand it. Some people have Richard Mille watches, and Lil Meech has Richard Mille watches too. He also bought chrome hearts jeans that cost $10,000. If I spent $10,000 on jeans, I would probably wear them for a month, maybe longer. But $10,000 jeans? That is crazy. Back in the day, we were buying Red Monkey jeans for about $1,000. Now, everything is 3 times the price when it comes to style. I understand that he is young and all, but when you look at Lil Meech, no disrespect to him, you have to think. Been talking about how he has fancy homes and expensive places all over the world. But to make things worse, it seems like things are not going to get better anytime soon. 50 Cent gave Lil Meech a hard reality check in a now-deleted Instagram post. 50 Cent shared some text messages from Lil Meech where he confronted him about 50 Cent making recent comments about his father. Lil Meech wrote, "They just told me that you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you are managing Skill's baby with Rocket, when I was the one who introduced him to you when you did not even know who he was. Now you are mad at me, even though I would have taken the shirt off my back for you. I cannot believe this. You are acting like I am your enemy. I have only shown you love and loyalty, and I have never changed on you, even though I go through my own problems." Lil Meech also talked about his father's recent meeting with 50 Cent's longtime rival, Rick Ross. He said it was all about money. He mentioned, "Forget Ross, but he gave my dad some cash so he could pay his bills until the next season starts." Lil Meech went on to say, "This internet stuff is throwing me off. You know me in real life." But 50 Cent, being 50 Cent, did not show any sympathy for him. When he saw Lil Meech's message, he replied with, "What next season? Little Ninja?" He was basically hinting that he could recast Lil Meech's role on BMF or even cancel the show. Some fans thought that was a little too harsh, but it seems like 50 Cent is enjoying watching the family struggle right now. He even made fun of Big Meech's money problems by posting a GoFundMe link on Instagram. He wrote, "Help Big Screech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb." To make it worse, he also shouted out quality control, saying, "That is one of P's cribs, FYI." Now, there are rumors going around that Big Meech set up a GoFundMe after his Welcome Home concert was canceled. Fans know Tony is not joking around. Back in 2023, Lil Meech made a lot of noise when he appeared on GQ's On the Rock series and talked about his expensive jewelry, including a $500,000. The Welcome Home concert was canceled because Big Meech is said to be in urgent need of cash to pay his bills. The BMF boss, Big Meech, is reported to have a GoFundMe page. This GoFundMe page was set up to help him cover his bills after the concert was canceled. The money from the Welcome Home concert was supposed to help pay those bills, but now that the event is no longer happening, he is looking for support. The reports about the GoFundMe have not been confirmed, and some people are even saying that it could be fake. However, this did not stop Tony from speaking about some other things related to the situation. In the interview, Tony shared some interesting details. According to him, 50 Cent actually stopped by Meech's house after he got out of prison, and at that time, everything was good between them. While many fans believe the real reason for the problem is the whole Rick Ross situation, Tony sees it differently. He said another reason the two are not getting along is because 50 made millions of dollars from the BMF deal, while Meech is struggling financially right now. Meech is used to being in charge, but it is clear that, in this situation, 50 is putting in a lot more work and making much more money than Meech is. This shift in power is definitely adding to the tension between them. Tony explained, "It was crazy. We went to Meech's house, sat down with him and Lil Meech. I thought big things were coming in the future because he was telling stories about jumping in cars with bricks. He was sharing war stories that were amazing. I was really interested in what he was saying. Him and 50 were hanging out, and everything seemed fine. But then, after the whole Rick Ross situation, that is when things started to change. Everything seemed to go wrong after that. BMF was the last to really make it big in the game." Tony said, "My album came out in 2005, and those songs were on fire. But I think with 50 Cent, it is like some people just do not want him to always be in charge. That is how it seemed to me. The deal just felt bad. You were with 50 Cent, he talked about future plans, and he helped your family make money. You would think you would be a little more grateful. But Tony explained that not everyone have to be loyal to 50 in business. He said, I guess that is how Meech felt because he wanted to be his own boss. Tony also shared how 50 really helped Lil Meech when his dad was locked up. Believe it or not, 50 actually paid for Lil Meech's acting school, and that changed the whole direction of his life. Tony explained, when you take Lil Meech and put him in acting school, you take him out of Detroit and away from rapping. I remember when he was rapping and nobody was really paying attention to him. From what I have seen, 50 Cent has really helped Lil Meech when no one else did. I remember when Lil Meech was rapping and no one was giving him any support. Then, 50 took him under his wing, sent him to acting school, kept it quiet, and helped him make money. So, when it comes to 50 Cent and Big Meech, fans can clearly see who has been the better parent for Lil Meech. In fact, 50 Cent even decided to show off his mentoring skills recently on Instagram. Looking back, it seems like Big Meech was uncomfortable with the relationship between 50 and Lil Meech. 50 said that he told Lil Meech, I do not want you using substances. He also shared with him how he used to use X and told him it was not a good choice. 50 told Lil Meech to stop spending all his money and even shared how much money he wasted. But that is not all. When things started going wrong, 50 Cent also wrote, you come home thinking you are the Black Pablo Escobar and messed everything up, referring to the reports that the next season of BMF might be the last one if it is not cancelled earlier. 50 also said, I helped your family make over $5 million in a legitimate way. It is not my fault that it is all gone. He then took a shot at Big Meech, saying, you think people do not see that you want to shine so much. When you wear the baby's jewelry, just give it back to him. Some fans believe that Big Meech could have avoided all of this drama if he had just stayed loyal to 50. The two of them were supposed to create BMF movies and spin-offs together, and Big Meech could have easily made $30 to $40 million. But instead, he took that picture with Rick Ross, which ended up ruining his relationship with 50. 50 said, look at what you did. You signed with Ross, a complete fool. You spent 19 years in prison, and 50 could have taken that story and turned it into about 5 seasons of BMF and then made a movie. He could have made $30 to $50 million. Standing next to someone who could not even keep a concert going, Rick Ross is now looking like he is losing. In just about 10 days, Ross will probably let him go. Let me be clear with you, Meech, if Rick Ross really saw what he did to you, he would understand what he was doing by standing next to you. He knows you are not thinking clearly, and if he does not give you some help, you should start to question him. What is 50 going to do? He is going to tear everything down. He will release the last season of BMF and then tell the truth about everything people thought they knew. Some people believe that by working with Rick Ross, Big Meech not only messed up his own situation, but also hurt his son's future. Meech getting out of prison and choosing to work with his son's boss's rival shows how an unhealed parent can ruin your life. They can destroy your friendships, your relationship with your partner, and even your career. No one can tell me that Big Meech working with Rick Ross, who is his son's boss's enemy, was not a planned decision. That was not an accident. It was a choice. Why would a parent do something like that? Maybe it is because of old hurt, some anger, or even jealousy. Sometimes, when a parent has not healed from their past, they might feel proud of their child, but at the same time, feel jealous of them for the very reasons they should be proud. Meech should have come home and made his return all about family. He should have passed the torch to his son, letting his son take the lead and move forward. Your son is out there making millions, looking good, and building a career in acting. But you're still on Instagram, trying to do a car show with Rick Ross. It will never be 2008 again. You need to understand that. But because you have not healed from your past, you're trying to live like you are still young. Instead of seeing your son's success as something to be proud of, you see it like it is a competition. You think, oh, my son is doing better than me, so I need to show him how to make money. Now, you are working with your son's rival. Did Big Meech ever stop to think about how this would affect his son? No, he only cared about getting some attention, some clout. Let us be real here. The relationship between Big Meech and Rick Ross is not real. It is not a true friendship. When someone is with you just to get back at someone else, that is not real. At the end of the day, Big Meech is the one to blame for his money problems. He did not manage his millions well. And on top of that, he made things harder for his son's future. But there may still be a chance for Meech to fix things. Rick Ross recently said he wants to make a BMF movie. He even posted about it on his Instagram. But we will have to wait and see if he can actually make it happen. After all, he could not even pull off the Welcome Back concert for Meech. Fans are not sure if they can trust him now. What do you think?